G'day, this is Ghost Wolf, and today I made a thing and I would love for you to all look at it. I probably won't be talking too much through this video, but I did want to give some background on what I'm making and why. So if you follow Ep16, he is playing on the AlphaCraft survival multiplayer server, and he has these awesome giant torches, and the path leading to his area is flanked by these two burning torches, and they look just amazing. So he let me know that the torches had been built by Jax, and I'm a wild one. And they have a video showing them building these torches for Ep16, and I will link to that video in the description so that you can see it as well. But using that video and the torch texture, I decided I would have a crack at building my own version. So they used stripped logs, which I thought was absolute genius, and I'm just putting the logs in and stripping them as I go rather than having a stockpile of stripped logs, because I hadn't planned exactly what these torches would look like, and so I'm sort of just shoving the logs in there as I go and looking to see how the pattern's coming out. So I'm putting some water down here because I know that the wood part of these torches is going to be 16 blocks high. So I do need a way to get back down from up there. Although I take almost no falling damage. I just don't like that bone crunching sound. It's not nice. And I'm using a stone axe here to strip the logs, and it comes down to that argument of disposability versus durability. And for a very long time I didn't invest in diamond tools, and you see I have them now, and that's only a very recent development. For a very long time I would use stone tools for any large projects, which of course took forever. Then I built my iron farm, and I had a lot more iron. I have more iron than I honestly know what to do with. And so I upgraded to iron tools. I started enchanting them. And yes, I am a noob, despite how long I've been playing. But I never wanted to dig into my stockpile of diamonds and make them into tools, and I decided, you know what, I'm probably going about this wrong. Everyone else uses diamond tools. Let's just try it, see what happens. And so the durability on diamond tools is immense, and it was definitely worth finally making the change. Although now I'm in a position where I do want to find more diamonds just to keep my stockpile at a reasonable level. It's not like I have chests full of them. Going down and trying to mine for them is such a pain, and the last 2 times I've been down into the salt mines have been entirely unsuccessful. But I digress. I was talking about this stone axe because stripping a log counts as a use. So that takes one durability off your axe. And when you need to strip just a whole bunch of logs, the unbreaking enchantment doesn't really give you a good return on value for that. So I really think it's better for things like stripping logs and creating grass paths to just use a disposable tool. I have a terrible little cobblestone generator that actually doesn't work properly because it requires a sticky piston, which I do not have. So I can make cobblestone fairly easily. So yeah, using a stone axe for stripping is just, in my opinion, it's just the better choice. So the other tip that I picked up from Jax and I'm a Wild One was to use burning netherrack as the light source, which again, I think is genius. But I thought I was being clever, putting the netherrack up there while I was that high up, until I realized that now I couldn't jump down into the pool of water I had made precisely for that purpose. So, good going, Ghost Wolf. Very clever. And now that it's nighttime, I have found a slight problem with my pool of water idea, in that because of the snow biome, my water is frozen over. But it gets worse, much worse, later on. You'll see that I do a second torch and somehow manage to completely forget to bring my bucket of water at all. So I guess frozen water is better than no water at all. So I had to run back to my woodland mansion to get the stained glass that I needed to finish the torch. But now I'm back and I'm ready to put the final touches on this torch. This part I did plan out. I had a lot of orange and yellow glass. The orange glass was for the same project as the orange concrete, and the yellow glass was from me grossly miscalculating what I needed for my underwater base. If you've watched that episode, you would have seen that there was a glass containment cell made from yellow panes, and that was originally made from just yellow glass, and I wanted to make it bigger, so I made more glass, and then I came to my base and I decided, you know what, I'm actually going to make it in panes, so I had a heap of this yellow glass left over. What I don't have is a lot of bone meal, so that made the white glass kind of a... I had to know how much white glass I was going to use to make this. And I just wanted to pause for a second here. Because I love the sound effects in Minecraft. They are really, really satisfying. And one of those sound effects is the crackling fire that Netherrack produces. So that is our first torch completed, but these things look best in pairs. So I've scouted out a second location, replenished my supply of wood logs, and somehow completely failed to tidy up my inventory or get my water bucket. So we're just going to have to jump off these things and let the bone crunching be bone crunching. So I didn't want the torches to look identical, so again I'm just freestyling it and stepping back every now and then to see how it looks. And I don't know why I wasted glowstone on the inside of here. I think if there were stripped log staircases, then I would have put a ring of inward-facing staircases at the bottom so that the light from inside would shine through that bottom part. That being said, that still doesn't explain why I would use glowstone instead of torches when torches are 100% renewable and glowstone comes from the nether. And even without mobs, I hate going to the nether. One of the things that I really didn't want in the texture of the torches was for there to be, I didn't want color transitions on the same level, and I didn't want any diagonal patterns. So V, like if the patterns formed a V or an inverted V, that was fine, but if they formed a line, then that looked too artificial. I had originally planned on having them closer together, but I found that hill when I was scouting locations, and it just seemed right to put it on top of that hill. So the other torch is positioned an equal distance away. But they still look amazing, and I'm still super happy with them. So the Great Sky Rail passes between these two torches, so I get to see them a lot, and I can't even describe how happy that makes me. I'm just so pleased with how these turned out, and a huge thanks to Jackson, I'm a Wild One. This has been Ghost Wolf. If you're still watching, you are amazing. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. It really does help me out to know that you guys are enjoying this. And until next time, cheers!